In this video, it's going to be a lot of easy stuff. I'm pretty much just going to be showing you guys how to make some fake rocks. That's right, super simple fake rocks. And it only costs you $8, maybe 10 or 11 because of paint. And then, I don't know, maybe $2, $3 for some brushes. I actually found out that Dollar Tree, that's right, if you have a Dollar Tree and you live in the US, or they have Dollar Trees in Canada, then you can definitely go visit the little art section because there's so much crap that I've just been sleeping on. Now that I know that Dollar Tree is an equally good place to go, I'm really happy because I'd like to do a video in which we do like a $10 diorama challenge, but this right here is pretty much gonna be it's gonna be a one part to many part series. So I want people to be like, how does Fudo make his dioramas? Well, right now we're gonna be showing you guys how I make the rocks and what I do to make rocks and how I paint them and just kind of what I'll do to them essentially. And then we'll have a video where how do you make your basis platform? How do you get your wall? How do you carve it out? How do you make like a mountain type of approach? We will do that. I don't want to overload everybody, you know, in like a 40-30 minute video because I'm gonna feel compressed to be able to rush everything. I want to take the time because everything that I know, I'd like to say everything I have, definitely, excuse my shitty writing, but the first like 3 pages and everything is just notes. We got notes on paint, we got notes on glues, mixes, paint effects, washes, oils, textures, land stuff, aka tufts, rubble, grass, shrubs, shrooms, your mother, all that, and terms and effects and techniques and stuff, because this is something that I care about. And I don't want you guys to feel like you have to do a whole bunch of scientific research or you have to be nerds and go outside and look at rocks or collect rocks like I did, but maybe that'll help, okay? So let's make some rocks. Having a look at some of the other stuff that you're gonna need, right? You can actually use real rocks for your display if you want, but I thought that would be a little bit too boring because the point of this is for you to try to create, well, there's no real point to it, but my point to this is that I'm trying to create realism from nothing. So I'm trying to basically imitate realism with my own art. So I went ahead and got some rocks that I really liked their shape and the textures and just kind of what they had to offer. These are my favorite rocks. But yeah, no, dude, it's different. I mean, it's good that they can all be different from each other because you're seeing that some of these have holes and ridges. Some of these are just merely like a simple, you know, just a cylinder spear rock, right? Just some skipping rocks. What I did, right, it's pretty easy, pretty simple. We'll go ahead and use this one because that's the rock. So you get your rock and you get some foil, right? And this is just some double-sided foil, right? And what I mean by double-sided is it's one strip that I went ahead and folded, right? I got it nice and flat. Then you're gonna wanna get your rock, whatever side you want. Just put it in your palm and just encase it, right? Try to cover it and leave a form as best as you can. Now, don't over close the foil like that because it's gonna be a pain in the ass. So what you're gonna wanna do, because remember, you're gonna wanna keep it leveled and have a little bit of a ridge to it because this is gonna be a mold after all. So what you can do is, as you see me, you can take the edges and then just kind of refold them so that way it's a lot easier to get the rock out. And boom, you now have a nice rock mold. Now the others look different, but that's because I use a little bit of excess foil. So we're gonna put this one aside and we're gonna add that for the perfect mold pile. Because god damn it, that made a mess and now we know. So I've got a little bit of a better container. I'm gonna go ahead and pour the water. Probably not the best amount of water there now that I think about it, but we're just gonna do a little casual mixing because that's what you want to do. You just want to get all of it encased. Jesus, it's like it's not reaching the bottom, or it's almost like it doesn't even know that there is a bottom. So I'm just gonna start shaking this. I mean, not shaking, stirring. So far the mixture is good. Like the thing said, you wanna kind of like let it chill after a little while so all those air bubbles can apparently rise to the top. So, I mean, it looks pretty good. I'm not feeling that much clump now. I mean, shit, you can already see the spoon, so that's a good thing. So we're gonna go ahead and let that chill for a little bit and then we'll start pouring. I've got my mix now, but I do wanna note I messed up in one thing only. It said that you wanted to put the water first and then go ahead and gradually pour the powder out. Go ahead and let that now sit for about a minute because like it said, you wanna tap that on a dry surface and get all the air bubbles to the top. So that's what we're gonna go ahead and do. I'm smacking it on my desk right now to just kind of get all those air bubbles up there. And it looks like more and more just kind of going to the surface. So now we let that sit for a minute and then we start the pouring. Right on, so it's been about a minute now and everything's just kind of chilling where it needs to be. So what I think I'm gonna go ahead and do, oh God, be with me on this one, right? Be with me, because I'm gonna need all of your help, right? We're gonna go ahead and pour it in. I definitely realize now I'm gonna need some measuring cups, which I'm gonna go ahead and get in the next couple of days. But we're gonna go ahead and start with this mold right here, this one that I'm holding in my left hand. So we're gonna take them out, and we're gonna put them all in one by one by one. I, truth be told, don't even think that we'll have enough. You know what? If that's the case, then shit. Let's go with this one first. So the one that I'm most proudest of, let's see how it works. It said don't overfill, which is a good thing. No, don't overfill. Scared. I'm proud, but I'm kind of scared. Let's go ahead and check these out. So the timer is done for the perfect plaster. So without messing up my rock too much, oh man, I'm hearing and feeling some breakage. But also, by the way, guys, these are kind of heavy. So I know I said it's best to just kind of make these instead of real rocks, but shit. They're kind of not really showing me a difference, so let's see. I'm gonna try to not break that. I'm getting some breakage on the side, but it's also just oh, that is damn good. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's a good rock. Now these are definitely some different rock textures than you would normally see, but that's perfectly fine. These are, you know, I like that you can make foam rocks and you can make plaster, you know, rocks. So it's just a different type of element. So this you can either save, you can keep, you can do whatever. I'm gonna honestly save, truth be told. Let's get another one out. That came out damn good. It came out really, really well. Check it out. Let's see, without over blaring it on the light and everything, this itself looks pretty sick. Looks really, really detailed. So I've been conversing with a couple of people that have seen the post so far, and while everybody thinks it's pretty cool, and I think it's pretty cool, we all kind of agree that there's still a little bit of a foil or a foliage look to this. So like this right here, this looks pretty cool, but it's definitely just too rigid, and maybe I can disguise some of these ridges with bushes and whatnot, but they did advise to go ahead and try and break it down. So I'm gonna keep these two. This one definitely looks pretty good too. Yeah, these two I'll probably break, but more importantly, what I'm gonna go ahead and try is I've got this foil mat open. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna make a big ass combination. I'm gonna mix it, I'm just gonna pour it up here, I'm gonna break it, and essentially I'm hoping I get a platform of rocks to work with. So let's see how this works. So I'm proud of how this came out because it gave me some sheets to work with, which is really good. This kind of painted in the right way, along with some brush marks and everything, will definitely do a lot for me. I gotta try to keep these in the best condition that I can, so that way I can get my foam, cut it out, and then just kind of get the idea of, you know, where I'm gonna need everything from there. But for the most part, it's pretty solid. It's pretty hard. You're definitely gonna wanna take care of your things here as far as how it comes out. So I'm just gonna place this all to the side, and then we'll put that in a box for later. But I'm gonna go ahead and paint these in a second, and we're also gonna go ahead and bust out some foam, and I'm gonna show you guys how to make some rocks from foam. Stay tuned. All right, so I'm gonna show you guys how I made my rocks and how I plan to make my rocks from now on. So this is just straight up some foam from, I wanna say, a desk, maybe? Definitely something I got off of Amazon. So this is why it's handy to get like a long knife, because essentially what you're gonna wanna do is get your length, get what you need, and then just kind of go at it from there. So I'm just gonna do a small rock for right now, nothing crazy, nothing too wild. So let's see, we'll just cut this off right here. So careful though, I do wanna stress this. This is the easier method, but holy shit, did I just remember how messy it's gonna be. So some things you're gonna wanna do, you're just gonna wanna go ahead and start cutting off some of the edges like so, right? Because you don't want it to look like a rock. And you don't want it to look too straight edge either. So what you can do is you can cut into some of the stuff that you've done. So here I'm just kind of making it look more like a rock, giving it a rougher surface. And now you can leave some corners off. Like if you want to, you can leave this corner. And what you could do is just kind of go at it a little bit more through a slice. There you go. I'm gonna go ahead and just chip the corner. Other than that, pretty much just kind of do what you want. Just make sure that it doesn't look and feel exactly like a rock or like a piece of foam. So here I'm just kind of going at it. There you go. Definitely don't want the bottom looking like it's a rock either. So like I said, it definitely can get messy. All right, so there we go. Pretty much I have what I want for the majority. I mean, it does look a little bit straight edge some places, but we can fix that as a matter of fact. For the most part, it's definitely pretty cut up. So like all I gotta do is just get this off the side here. The less I can give of a straight edge appearance to it, the better. So it's okay, like right here, it doesn't matter that it's got a little bit of a straight corner to corner to it, because it still looks like a rock ridge, right? It still naturally is giving the appearance of like a big ass mountain. So that's definitely pretty dope. I think we're officially good. I'm gonna go ahead and put this one off to the side, clean this up. I'm gonna go ahead and do another, let's see. This one, let's make it a little bit bigger. Same thing, so you got your cube and you're just gonna wanna naturally turn it too. Something I wanna go ahead and show you guys is I went ahead and took in the knife and I stabbed it in, and I kinda went at it in a entrance approach, right? So that way I could get this, right? And the point of that is to have like a little bit of a cave for your rock, right? So if you wanna give it that kind of approach, you're more than welcome to do that. Again, all you really need to do for that is to just kinda stab in and then pop out that part. But you're gonna wanna make sure that you still have some ridges to it. So I'm still working on this. I'm still trying to give it that big canyon rock-like appearance. So here we are. Here's what my natural foam rocks would pretty much look like. I'm gonna go ahead and bust out the paint and then get everything painted. So again, for the rocks, what I'm gonna be using is some Hobby Lobby Airbrush Wicked Colors. This is the jet black, and then we got a little bit of gray in here. But I'm also gonna bust out this Liquitex, what is this, natural gray. I got that from Hobby Lobby, so we're gonna try that, see how that looks. Hell, might as well even give a little bit of a Mars rock a try. Fuck it, why not, right? All right, so There are a couple things you're gonna want. Like I said earlier about Dollar Tree, these black brushes are from Hobby Lobby, but you can equally get some pretty decent brushes from Dollar Tree. I just picked up this and like 4 other ones for $1.25. Other than that, I think I got this at Hobby Lobby. Truth be told, I really don't know. I want to say I did, but I really only got it just because like I needed something that had divots, but I wasn't trying to also get huge barrels or like a huge plate or bowl just for little dollops. So what you're gonna see here is the burnt sienna. Oh no, I'm sorry. Actually, I went ahead and went with the burnt amber, and then let's see. Let's go ahead and put some burnt sienna there after all, for the Mars. And then we have our natural gray, we have the jet black, and then we have our neutral gray. So we have the one from Walmart and the natural. So I'm gonna go ahead and mix these all up and slowly get at them. Here are some pre-painted rocks that I have from the last time I did them. So if all comes out well, this is what some of the rocks should look like. You just wanna kinda get them overall all painted black, and you want to try to minimize as many white spots as you can, so I'll probably end up going back over this. Let's see it. So this is kind of like post-process, me just kind of getting everything. What I will do with the foam, because it's foam, is usually I will stab it from one end, so that way it makes it easier, you know what I mean, to just kind of go through, get everything else you need, get the ridges, do what you gotta do. But from there, it pretty much gets fun, and you can just kind of like splat all over again. I don't really know what the terminology is for this, but I will say there's a certain time and point to where the wide brush does run out and you are going to want to switch to something a little bit thinner. Truth be told, I actually use this brush because it's a little bit older, and I use that, since you can tell my brushes are a lot more worn out, to kind of get the inside. So I'll just kind of stab at it. But I truly make sure I can get everything with the wide brush, and then yeah, it's pretty much all up to that. Alright, I'm going to show you one of those techniques that I was talking about earlier. So you're going to want to make sure that your brush is nice and dry. I mean, not really dry, but you're going to want to make sure that it's nice and clean, fresh cut. So let me go ahead and fully clean this out. This is when you're going to want a napkin, alright? So keep in mind, I'm going to pick up the black piece, right? So this is what we're gonna do. You're gonna wanna get a little bit of gray or white, right? And yes, it is still drying. Should we use a different piece? No, we'll use that. So you're not gonna wanna dip it in, and you're not gonna really wanna like fully get much of the side. You're just gonna wanna get enough to put on your brush. Clean it off, right? Kinda get that to where there's not so much of it, but it's still on there, so you can show traces. So you could do stuff like this, alright? You're gonna wanna go over it, and then you can go back over what was actually on the napkin, and you're just gonna wanna get random spots of that. Right? So there you go. There you have it. A little bit more realism to it. Now, you yourself can cut it out. You can add as much as you want, but I myself add shrubs and tree branches and stuff to my foam, so it's gonna be perfectly fine. Now, let's show a little bit about how the rocks came out. This is definitely pretty dope, although I think I'm gonna use the white for sure. So I'm gonna pour a little bit of white into the tray, and then I'm gonna go back over it for sure. But yeah, I think the rock came out pretty well. I did not get that underside. Nope. This is the other rock that we have too. So it's coming out pretty well. Now this piece of foam, I'm probably gonna do ember. So this is probably gonna be for the umber, and then these two over here will be the sienna, whatever orange. So it's like a more rock Mars tone, versus this is meant to replicate for like an actual rock. So maybe a little bit of a mixture can give me something close to that. Alright, so I'm coming back to that main rock that I was dealing with earlier, and I totally forgot I could do this. You can actually rub in that paint. So if you feel like you got too much white somewhere, or if you feel like you got too much color on a rock, just rub it in. Just rub it in. And it gives it that nice kind of weathered look that I was talking about. So, here's an update. I'm not liking this. I think that I would have to prime the rock first and then have to paint it. So this I'm gonna let dry, put aside, and I'm just gonna paint it black. Now, as far as our rocks though, the gray rock is still drying, but I do have an update on the Mars rock. I went ahead and first painted this rock umber, but I then kind of went back over it with a little bit of the sienna, so it's drying right now. Another thing that I went ahead and did was I figured out that I can kind of dig my tweezers into the rock itself and kind of give it more of a crater look. So it does still look like it has a little bit of a foil look, but maybe if I kind of did that a little bit more times before painting, I can kind of change that foliage look to it. But for the most part, everything else is coming out okay. The other, this is what a sienna rock would look like flat out. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have placed it on here, but for the most part, I don't think I would paint my rocks red, I gotta be honest. And if anything, I think I need to prime them, and I need to go ahead and make them all gray and then go over with the color that I want. But for the most part, I gotta say foam rocks are looking to be the way. So here's one of our actual rocks. Let's go ahead and get some paint. I'm gonna go ahead and rub it off and do the thing. Just gonna give a little bit of brush. A little bit of coverage to it. That way it's just not all shiny black, right? You want it to look like it's got a little bit of decay, so. There you go, I'm just gonna smear that in. There you go. Just kind of give it a nice little brush. So there we are. Excuse my dirty ass hand, but you know, it's not so shiny anymore. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and use this rock because this rock is probably the driest so far, and then we'll use this rock. So I have some floral moss that I actually found at Dollar Tree, which is pretty dope because this shit's gonna come in handy. And if you go to Hobby Lobby for under 10 bucks, you can get yourself some shrubs, some foliage, and then some other stuff. There's definitely sand, rocks, snow, trees. Careful with their trees, man. Their trees look kind of fake, man. I mean, I know they're fake trees, but damn, you really might as well just make them out of something that you can yourself. So, doesn't need a lot. I'm gonna go ahead and just pull out that much right there. Actually, yeah, there. And then for extra effect, because I'm gonna try to change this up, right? Well, you don't want just one of the same color. And here's an example of that, by the way. You see how there's this one bit of darkness? God damn it. Let me just pull out the whole thing. So there's this one bit of shrubs that's chilling in the foliage there, and you can tell. So I kind of have that there just to remind me of how different colors of trees can definitely add up for an effect. So with the shrubs, we're gonna be super generous because we have more of, or we're just gonna probably put the same amount, whatever. Now, while you're at Hobby Lobby, for about $3.99 or $4.99, I believe, you can get a small bottle of Mod Podge. Now, I have these other bottles that I've put it in because I have a version where it's like 75% water and then 25% mod, and there is a gloss and a matte version. I try to get the gloss version and the matte version when I can. Actually, I say that like I have to restock. I have a super huge bottle of the matte because I bought a bigger one by accident, and I have a small version of the gloss. So this is just how I put everything to the side. Now, the reason why I have this off to the side, right, is because you're gonna wanna get yourself some kind of brush or some super tiny detailed brush. I got a 5 or 6 pack of these at, wouldn't know it, I think Hobby Lobby for like $2-3 bucks. So what you're gonna wanna do, let me go ahead and get some foliage. This looks good, that looks like a good pile. This we're gonna be super generous with, we're gonna spread it out. Really, you're just gonna wanna try to make sure it's as flat as possible. It's kind of like foam. It's super sticky foam. So what I'm gonna do is, because I have these ridges here with my rock, right? I'm gonna go ahead and just get some of that Mod Podge, and you're gonna want a lot of it, by the way. It's super generous, right? And then from there, super easy stuff. Let's go ahead and apply this. You're just gonna fill it in to the best that you can, right? So I have a little bit of extra there. So now, I'm just gonna go ahead and start packing it down. Everybody said and seen that before. I usually only do big globs. or big piles of it. So that I'm gonna let chill. I'm gonna let it sit there. And we have this other ridge here. So you want to just push on it, and it's okay if the tree gets pushed down. I mean, it's like a weird foam, expanding foam. So it's going to just kind of pull itself back and expunge. So your only goal is to make sure you cover all of your trails and to make sure that you show your math. So yeah, so let me measure that up. There you go. You want to try to add a little bit of both of them, or at least to change your color up. Truth be told, I don't really know anything about the seasons, and I can do the research, and I probably should be doing the research to, add for more realism. But really, you guys, that's kind of neat. That's how I would make my rocks right there, essentially straight up. You just kind of like glue it, let it chill, do its own thing, and then we're gonna put that one aside. Now, as for the real rock, I don't exactly know how the Mod Podge is going to react, but I'm not too cool with this one area right here because it looks most like the foil to me. So let's just get some of this off. Something from nothing. So again, from a silly piece of foil, you made yourself a pretty dope looking rock. Now you could probably cut this more, but again, it's been a long day. And I was just so excited to work on this because it's like my vacation, right? And truth be told, I want you guys to flourish. I want you guys to. I would never be mad if I taught somebody something I know how to do and they could do it better. You know why I wouldn't be mad? Because they can teach me how to do it and I could grow. I could get better. I could get stronger, faster, smarter. So you can never compare yourself to other people. Only compare your skill and how that person's skill got there. Right? There are a lot of other content creators out there that do Gundam. Now, Mecha Guy Kotu hasn't noticed me, and I don't plan for him to notice me. 𝔻𝕗 hasn't noticed me. I don't give a damn about all these people. I give a damn about Alexander, aka Plamo-Fudo, right? But I am making some really awesome friends along the way, and my damn Facebook posts are getting plus hundreds of likes and shares and comments, and that's the important thing to me, is I'm giving y'all content for y'all to interact with and just kind of come together and just be like, yo, I like this shit because of this reason, or I really love Gundam 00 because of, the whole fact of the armed intervention, and there's this little guy saying, I am Gundam. Like, I like that I'm bringing a community together, because up until a year ago, I built the real grade clear Quanta, and I said, wouldn't it be dope if because I wanted to make YouTube videos already. I just didn't know what I was going to do it on. But I built the Quanta because I had actually lost a family member, so I was trying to kind of get back into the group of Fudo, right? And so I told myself, wouldn't it be crazy if I could somehow make Gundams my content creation? Little did I know I would be diving into the world of Gundams. Little did I know I was going to be doing custom creating. But truly, if I can be completely honest, it's because of the people that I've met. It's 100% because of the people I've met. People have driven me, people have told me about new techniques, new skills, and that's the important part at the end of the day. You're supposed to learn, you're supposed to grow, you're supposed to get better, stronger, and faster. So, I hope you guys liked my rock video. We're gonna do the diorama tomorrow, so tomorrow I'm gonna film the how to diorama, and it's pretty much gonna be how to make the basis for your diorama and how to cut the back, and then how to just make it look like an overall rock wall, right? And then we've showed you how to make the rocks. We'll show you how to kind of like add finer details and everything. Well, also, I may go ahead and start my durable build tomorrow because I've got to get a start on my diorama that I have planned. The burger versus the durable. Thank you guys so much for watching another one of my videos. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit notifications, man, because I would love for you to be able to see the next video or the next giveaway. Catch you later. Go, go, go.